skin. Stack up those dreams, won't let them go. Some way, somehow, my day will come. This is my time, gonna light it up. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. But back to the wall is how I live my life. I risk it all, put it on the line, then blow it up every single time. It's a big world, I'll take it in. If I don't try, how can I win? This chance might never come again. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. Oh, 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 I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire.
Let's do it.
Happy Friday, July 8th. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange podcast, the only podcast you need to listen to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. It's been a hot week, and we've got some crazy tweets. Let's get into this. What's going on, man?
You already got me out of the gate, man.
It's been a crazy week of like, one, it's been hot as all get out, but then like, I don't know, man. Did the world just lose its mind this week? Because I mean,
I think
there's
so.
just some craziness going on, man.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of craziness. Did we hit 100 today? I didn't even check, but
I
it
know
just
the
felt
heat index was. I think
Was
today
it?
was supposed to be a little like, or maybe tomorrow. I think
Yeah.
we have a cold front coming in, man. It's only going to be like 92, 93.
The cold front is going to be having 98. Cold front's coming in.
I think we're getting a little, but I mean, heat has a tendency to make people kind of, go off their rockers. And, with
Yeah.
everything that's going on in this nation, the demoralization of Americans. I mean, like, I'm seeing like a concerted effort from mainstream media outlets, taxpayer funded media outlets, et cetera,
Oh,
et cetera,
yeah.
right? Just like being Karen. Like, I thought the left was like, don't be a Karen, right? But then, like, it seems like these mainstream leftist publishers are being Karens because they're not, I mean, like, because people actually celebrated the 4th of July and love this country. And I honestly, regardless of, every country has a problem, right? They have their own
Right.
internal problems, but I still would rather live here than anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a big hell yeah right there, man. There's no doubt
eh,
about that.
It's like, I mean, like, this country was, I mean, like, what was, I mean, like, there's I think I sent it to you yesterday. There's a news article about the European Union disapproves of the United States overturning of Roe v. Wade, right? I'm like, oh, does this make the Queen upset? I mean, I thought we kicked their ass back in 1776, man. I don't care what the European Union thinks of my country, to be quite honest. I mean, like, you guys
know.
do your thing. We'll do. I mean, there was an old country
Right.
song. You do your thing, I'll do mine. Right?
Want a spot of tea and some crumpets?
We'll come over for a spot of key and some spotted dick. Hey, mate, we'll go up the chimney and sweep it too, right? God save the queen, right?
I know, I saw that. I was just like, this is craziness,
I mean, like, I'm just like, and then, like, there was one that came out this afternoon where China basically is like, basically telling the United States, you better quit colluding with Taiwan. Like, the military should quit colluding with Taiwan. Like,
Yeah.
who do you think you are, bro? But this is the effects. This is the effect of having a weak leader in office, right?
Right. Yeah.
We're starting
Calling
to
us
get we're
out.
starting to get the receiving end of being, bullied and stuff by other countries. And I'm
Right.
sorry, man. Oh, Biden up in the White House, he ain't gonna, I mean, he doesn't even know where he is half the time, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it goes for the vice president, I mean,
Yeah.
she did a
It's
press
true.
thing in Louisiana today, or not today, this week, but went through this whole briefing thing, and the whole dang briefing, Louisiana was spelled wrong.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Well, we're leading from behind, Chris. I mean, we used to be a beacon of light for the rest of these countries, and people looked up to the U.S. Now we're, you got no backbone. So that's why you're having the issues you're having. But
So now that we got kind of all that out of the way, we had 2 viewers, and now like we're, numbers kind of go down a little bit, right? Well, these guys must be conservative. Don't be a Karen, okay? Look, I claim
Listen.
neither party. I
right,
claim neither
right.
party.
Yeah, I'm an independent. But hey, listen, before we even get into what's going on in Northwest Arkansas, I just saw over the wire with Twitter. We've been talking about this for weeks with Twitter, and you're talking about bots and everything else. Well,
Mhm.
Elon Musk puts in his bid for $44 billion for Twitter. They agree to the terms, $54.20 a share to be given to the shareholders.
Okay.
He asks for information for the company, subscribers, all the stuff, the P&L information, whatever. Well, he asked numerous times. He still didn't
this has
receive
been
it.
going back and forth. I mean, this was basically like an insurrection in Twitter, right?
Yeah.
By the employees, and they canned a bunch of people.
Yeah, I just saw that.
They did
yeah.
lockdowns and like the code lockdowns and stuff like that because of the meltdown of Karens within the corporate atmosphere. Oh no, another billionaire bad man's going to come in. And
Well,
ruin
here's
our company, right?
here's the problem. It's the share price is agreed upon at $54.20. It was a 38% increase for anybody that exists in shares prior to him
Mhm.
putting that offer in, right?
Yep.
He breaks the deal. Why? because he couldn't get the information that was supposed to be provided to him. Where is
man,
the
like,
Securities
that's
and
the thing.
Exchange Commission? Where are these guys?
Where the heck is the rule of law? Where is, there's a proper ethical way to do business. And like where's the regulatory authority over what's going on with the, I mean,
it's the SEC that's supposed to be overseeing.
Apparently he's just going to have to sue the crap out of them now.
Well, every shareholder has Twitter stock can do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a feeling that we're only going to see half the subscribers, maybe if we're lucky. If anything, people need to go and dump the stock. It's down 5% after hours.
I've got one kind of like business account, like it's a page account,
right.
On Twitter, but I very rarely even. I mean, like. I think every time I get on Twitter, I'm just like, man, what a freaking crazy doom and gloom place this is. Like, this is such a echo chamber.
Right. But this is just the beginning of this.
Chamber, man.
This is across all social media platforms. Now, these publicly held companies,
really
man.
like that. They've gotten into echo chamber land. I mean, public
I want to know what's
PBS, right? PBS News is taxpayer funded, Mark. But you see the echo chamber of confirmation bias happening in the comments of all these, Debbie Downer, America hates you and the Supreme Court hates you, news article. I mean, like there's no truth in journalism anymore, man.
No, and PBS is
taxpayer funded.
Right.
Like, I mean,
and that's what PBS is. It's donations from the public. They have a site specifically for funding of standards and practices that don't even adhere to it.
No, they don't.
What is going on with this
don't,
place, man?
They're like, I mean, rule of law, man. It really boils down to rule of law and accountability, right? That's something that I think that's the common thread that's been happening in this nation for years is lack of accountability, right? Different strokes for different folks. And I think we're seeing we're at the tip of the spear with, the damages that it's created.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's just insane to me that there has been no information put out by the SEC as far as what they're going to do to move forward. I mean, you're going to have lawsuits for years to come going on with this. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't even recall this ever happened. I mean, every major publicly held company that's going to go through this is going to be scrutinized just like this. If you can't come forward with your subscribers for someone that's willing to pay $44 billion, man, I mean, it's just insanity.
Well, and on top of it, where's the enforcers, right? Ensuring that they're doing their, what they call it, fiduciary duties, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like they're protecting the stockholders' interests, by following the rules. And
here's what troubles me. The former CEO, the CFO, the board of directors, none of these guys have a clue what their base is.
They have a clue.
Yeah. I mean, line up the lawsuits, man. Let's get this party started.
I don't know anymore, man. We just
can't anybody be honest anymore?
We go, man.
Jeez.
How much further down the spiral goes? I don't know. We got to hit bottom, though, man.
If I had positions right now, I'm telling anybody out there with Twitter, it's after hours is down 5%. It's going to plummet, man, because as soon as they disclose that most likely it's going to be off dramatically from what they said before, it's going to crash hard.
Yeah,
it's going to crash hard. You don't want to be on that ride, man. You just don't.
Yeah, ride the lightning, man. Ride the
lightning. I'm not on this ride, man, but I'm going to watch it with some popcorn and a beer, though.
Yeah, man, it's popcorn time. It's getting close to popcorn time, man. We're seeing, more and more fraud, waste, and abuse happening. I think there was a report this week of the U.S. government's quietly taking some of our strategic oil reserves and shipping it to another country.
Yeah, we don't need them.
We don't need that here, Ray. We don't need it here. You guys
it's
will
like
be fine
having
with your electric vehicles, man.
It's like having that kid on your team, dude. He's trying to lose for you. You're trying to win the game, and you got a red coat, man.
Yeah,
you got a guy, ruining your team,
Well, and
man.
then like this whole green agenda thing, I mean, it's funny how other countries, I think Germany, because they kind of ran into a debacle with their oil pipeline that comes from, I believe it's Russia, right?
Yep.
With the whole, sanctioning and stuff over the Ukraine. And so, they're looking at, well, nuclear is actually a really good option. How is nuclear? I thought everybody on the green agenda was against nuclear, right? Or using natural gas. Well, now their tune has changed, right? Because why? Well, they have a need now, right?
Right.
But no, America's full steam ahead with something that, is not sustainable right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring on them
It's
charging
craziness.
stations, buddy. Bring them on.
Yeah. Bring 'em on. Pile them on, man. Let them roll. Just pile those batteries up on the side of the road too.
I
You
know. Well, let's go ahead and get into what's happening this week. And
Sorry, Chris, man. I try to keep even keel, man. I'm just fired up, man. I'm done
that
with
whole
this,
Twitter
this
thing
propaganda.
is insane, man. I mean, like,
Yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me.
I guarantee you, he's probably going to end up suing them or something's going to come of this. I know something is going.
He
come
had
of
to
this.
pay millions of dollars to
try to even get the deal.
to put the offer on the table. All the accountants, everybody is involved with this, going over the paperwork. And he asked for the information to be provided to him, not once, not twice, several times.
Yeah.
So what's that tell you?
Well, it tells me something stinks over at Twitter, man.
Yeah. Well,
If you can't come up with, I mean, this stuff should be documented and record, and for any investor to be able to say, "Look, man, I want to see that." Want to see.
people
this
need to
data,
take
right?
a hard look at investing in this market anymore, because there's no accountability.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the SEC? Why aren't they getting involved?
It stinks, man. I think that their whole business is suspect.
Yeah.
The numbers, everything.
Well,
I
here's
think
what's
this
scary.
is like kind of like, what was that movie, The Matrix, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like you only know what you really like, what you perceive,
Right.
right? And so perception, like if you can change the way that people perceive things,
Yep.
i.e.,
So here's
Twitter,
my problem.
algorithms, curated news feeds for what we think you need to see.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
changing that person's reality through their own perception. It's brain control, man. This is
Right.
population control style tactics, man.
Well, this is value. I mean, they valued the company based on the amount of subscribers. I mean, it's a publicly held company. Where's the regulation? I can't wait to see this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
This will go on for
I
5
don't know,
years.
man. Maybe we got tinfoil hats on.
This will make, this will be almost as big as a stump dump. But in any event,
I think this is going to be like as big as Enron, man.
it could be.
I think
It could
I
be
think
the
it's
biggest
going to turn it to some people are going to be going for
Yeah.
that what is that
Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. man.
we bunking with Bernie, man.
For his corpse, he's gone.
I know. The ghost of Bern.
All right, man. I couldn't help seeing it over the wires, dude. I wanted to. I'll get back in line here with what's going on in our neck of the woods, man. So yeah. So just to recap last week, man, I tell you what, this was one of the best 4th of July parades and 4th of Julys ever, man. Some great fireworks out there. The fireworks that you set off, man, they were phenomenal. They were really good.
We have a good time blowing some
Yeah.
stuff up in the sky, man.
Yeah. And having been over to the Bella Vista parade there was it's always a good time. It's still kind of a small community, and you see all these small companies come through, and seeing Randy Murray out there with his family and John Flynn and what have you. It was great to see those guys. So
yeah,
but,
I like Randy's truck too, man. I love that truck. Dude. That truck he was driving.
yeah,
that's a nice truck, man.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, the one you sent me, that was a beautiful truck on there. I don't know if you have any video of that fireworks, man. Those two, the last one, that Matrix.
Oh, I can probably
that
pop
thing
it
was-
up on the.
Man, that
I
was
think
just
you
good.
posted that to our Facebook page.
Yeah,
let's see if we
man.
Get that pulled up.
that was great, man. I don't know if we can get good audio on that, but someone didn't catch that. That was just
Yeah.
I mean, that was worth every penny, man. I'd get about 10 of those next time, So that was, Yeah, no worries, dude. We
Yeah,
can
well,
catch it on
give
the
me a
flip
second to
side,
get it
man.
pulled up. I just don't.
Yeah, no
want to
worries.
Showing the world everything that I got going on over here.
So we'll get back. You know, we'll go back there.
That's right. I'm right there. Just
You got it?
second.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the last one that we did was called The Matrix. It was a
Yeah, that was just, man, that was the capper, man, right there, you know?
Let's see if we
Man,
can
that
get
was
this
just,
web share.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure where you got that one, but you
I
got
picked
yours.
that one up. The Matrix, I think I picked up in Hale Fireworks up in Missouri, right across the
Oh,
state line.
yeah. Man, you got your money's worth on that, man.
Matrix.
Here it goes, buddy. Fine.
Keep in mind, we're in a small residential area, too. We're not on Loch Lomond Dam here. Yeah, I mean, the whole area was just echo, one big echo after another, man. That was,
Happy birthday, America.
yeah.
I tell you, man, I love this. Like, this is my, like, you know, I budget for things still going, man.
Yeah, man, that was, I don't know how long that lasted, 35, 40 seconds, but that was
Yeah.
worth every second, man. That
Yeah.
was
That was
a
a good
winner.
showing.
Yeah, it was, man. So I guess everybody had a good time, and that's what counts, man. And
Yeah. Yeah,
blessed
cooked
to
some
be living in
ribs
this
and,
country, dude.
We cooked them
I
ribs.
tell you what,
and had a
I'm
good
telling you
time,
what, man. You might be heading to some rib competitions because those were great. Those were great back ribs, man. Those were really, really good back ribs, man.
I'm
And what
glad
was
you
that? That dry rub you put on it? What was it? Meat Church, right?
Yeah, it was Meat Church. I did a little bit of voodoo on it,
Yeah,
and then I
man.
did Holy Cow. Holy
Wow,
Cow and voodoo.
you just had that right off the bone, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I could eat some right now, but
It tasted
Those are
good a
good,
couple
man.
days later too. I finished them off like 2 days later, man. I was like,
did you?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
those are
still
good, man. You could just eat those and have a beer, man, with them. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. It's all you need. So,
But it was
All
a good
right, man.
atmosphere, man. All the neighbors coming by and hanging out. and
Yeah,
having
yeah,
you
it was a
over
good
and
time.
stuff. It was fun, man.
yeah, for sure. So, hey, Bella Vista City Council meeting, July 25th coming up. You know,
Coming
before we
cool.
know it. Yeah.
So the
So
reason
everybody
that
that
it's brought up, right, is because, you know, they tabled some stuff at the last one, but
Yeah.
they're going to still wiggle in some stuff, man. You just what? You got to,
Well,
it's like
and that's
the bad, it's like the bad kid. You just got to keep an eye on him, man. You got to show up, got to stay informed, you got to listen, you got to ask questions, even though they're going to look at you like deer in the headlights most of the time.
right.
You know, but you got to stay engaged. I know it's hard to do for a lot,
Right.
right? But
Yep.
it's our. I mean, we're living in those times, man. Where like somebody got to be like the guy sitting there
Babysitter,
bugging
man.
them, babysitting
Yeah.
them. And what
Well,
are you
here's
doing?
my, and we had this conversation in the last show, is the fact that I had other things I wanted to discuss, and the mayor
tabled
shelved it,
them.
man.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said,
they tabled them.
we're going to prioritize the short-term rental. Well, guess what? It's a snowball effect. So all that stuff's going to come full circle next month, meaning, well, July 25th. So everything else that was supposed to be done the month before is going to be rolling into this month.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How I feel, I think the short-term rental situation, and you know my feelings on this, is I think it needs to be shelved till there's a new mayor in place.
Yeah,
I think
I honestly think that like this. You know, he's already said he's not rerunning right now. Obviously, there's a time. I think when they got to file in August, September, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in the
Whoever's running for
fall.
mayor.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but as it stands right now, his priority should be setting everything up so it's an easy transition for whoever takes over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, there's no doubt.
pet
Hand the baton
projects
off.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Too late in the game, buddy. Trying to
I
rush a
think-
pet project in the last minute so you can have, you know, a little star on your board
Right.
there, Pete.
Right.
Get another award or something. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I want to see this short-term rental thing be wrapped up, and that's that first week of January when someone else is in office and be able to make the decision. So right now, we need to take that information that's been provided, do what we got to do. And then first of the year, it's boom, it's done.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
You know, there's no way we're going to get any answers until then anyways. And I don't really, quite frankly, there's no effort being put in. We know that. So
Right.
I think we just wait until there's a new mayor in the office. So I don't want to beat a dead dog anymore. You know that. So, hey, just a reminder to everybody else out there, and people are upset about this, is the pickleball courts. So a majority of the pickleball courts on the east side are then Metfield. That's where people play, right?
Mhm.
So they decided they were going to resurface this. They did tell us they were going to resurface that area, but they haven't done anything with it now. It's been dormant. So anybody that wants to play pickleball, man, you're going to have to head to the west side to Branchwood, which is a pretty good distance. I've heard an earful from people. People are pissed off because there was no communication again. You talk about communication, Chris.
Yeah.
We could have waited till the fall or maybe the winter and did this and been ready to rock and roll going in the summer. So now people can't use those courts until they get done, which is most likely going to be the fall or winter. So
Yeah.
I don't know who made the decision, but it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Branchwood courses because people have, or pickleball courts, because people are going to have to make their way over to the west side.
Yeah.
So
Spending that
I don't
money
know.
on, I guess, too, man, to make it over there, too. That's a haul out there, man. Branchwood's
40,
a
20,
freaking drive.
20 minutes up, 20 minutes back,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm right here like you are. I'm 5 minutes away from right here at Medfield. So it was convenient for me. And there's a lot of people that use that those courts. So
Yeah.
hopefully they hear this and do something about it. Yeah, I understand you want to resurface it and fix it. I get that. I just don't think it was a good time to do that. Especially there's no communication.
Well,
Nobody
yeah,
said
and
it.
people have basically lost out on that being able to use this amenity, right? That they pay,
Right. Right.
dues for, assessment, and all that for.
Right.
And then they, basically it's non-usable, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. When they took out that putt-putt golf up at Metfield as well, that kind of ticked me off because it's really not a lot to maintain. I mean, what are they doing? Putting down some indoor-outdoor carpet,
Yeah. The kids get a kick out of that
The
too.
kids loved it.
Yeah.
It was a good activity,
Yeah.
family activity to go up and do. And we had that assessment increase so that we could keep amenities. Well, I would consider that an amenity, right? Well, they took that away.
Right.
But now here they come around the corner.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into the what's going on now. But hey, the other thing we talked about too, again, Reardon Hall was going to be construction. POA talked about this. It needs a lot of work. It's 50 plus years old. Electrical's gone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get it. Totally get it. But what are we doing in the meantime when that's shut down? The people that are members there are going there that live in the area are going to have to go most likely to Metfield. If they're that close, it'd be close to them or Branchwood. Okay.
Right.
So how about the influx? What are we doing about there? Because I go over to Metfield quite a bit. Nothing's changed there. So all of a sudden you bring 100, 150 people over there spread out
Right.
during the week, maybe even more, and you're not going to be able to handle that amount. It's
Right.
just not going to happen.
Yep.
So are you going to bring over more equipment while you're working on that? What's going to be done? Because you need to react now. If it's going to happen in September, we're already in July,
I think they'll
And-
probably audible that one. They're going to probably see well, how many people are coming over here now, right? And
gonna
then
be too
they'll try
late.
to, try to
It's gonna
shift
piss
things
off-
or come up with some
Yeah.
creative.
Well, it's going to
if
piss
you-
people off.
If you were going to Reardon, then you can use it from these times, and then the Metfield people can use. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like we
And-
don't
and-
pick in like we're all property owners. We all have an equal say and share.
Right. And
You
this
know.
brings me into the segue. What you're saying right there is we need to take these fitness facilities, all three of them need to be converted to 24 hours. Scan card in and out. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, every other major gym is 24 hours now. We live in a 24-hour world. People need to have access to the gym.
I would
and
say
what
it
they
doesn't
want.
even have to be a scan card. It could actually be your, they could do the door system to use your. I mean, they've already issued membership IDs, right? I don't know if I have my wallet
Yeah.
on me or not, but everybody has a membership ID
The number.
number,
You
right?
can put the number
You
in there.
put that
Yeah.
number in. There's your door
Punch
code.
number.
Blah 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 blah.
Sure.
Right.
Yep. And it'll
Easy
show
fix,
exactly.
easy peasy. Probably not even an ultimate, not a super expensive setup, right?
Yep.
And that's a solution, right? So that with the influx, maybe people want to shift to go at 3:00 in the morning, right? Pop, pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop. Put your code in, go in and do your thing. come out. Because if you got an activity card, right? If you got an activity card, then you have an ID with a number on it already.
Yeah. Where it stands right now is during the week. I think Metfield opens at 7:00. They're going to think about opening a little bit earlier, but I mean, some people have to be work at 6, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Open it up for them, man.
Yeah.
They want to go to the gym early before they go to work and have to be in at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Are you an early morning workout guy or afternoon or evening workout guy?
I used to be real early. I get up at 4:30, but now I've been doing later morning. It depends on when I can get in there. Sometimes I'll be in there at night. It's always, it's whatever, my job. If I'm out during the day or whatever, or I have to get out early in the morning, then I'll just move it to the night. But I have no consistency like I used to.
Yeah.
I used to go real early in the morning, like 4:30, then boom, I'd be out of there by 6 and ready to rock and roll. But my hours are just all over the place. They're just scattered everywhere. So it's tough.
When I was in the Army, man, like we had to, obviously PT in the morning, right? Every morning. And so I got out of doing that early morning stuff. I'm not a morning person. I mean, my days of early morning are over, man, since I got out of the military, dude. Unless if I got something to do, right, I can be up and go do it, right? But like, man, like whenever I was doing the gym before the whole stump dump debacle, dude, I was like going, I think at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, working out till like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yep.
That was my deal, man. Go run that 1-2 miles, and then go do legs or arms, weightlifting, or
sure,
or do cardio. I mean, go run for an hour,
Yeah.
That was my thing, man. Every night, man. Then on the way home, gotta get that cheap protein, man. It was good protein, but I stop and get a chicken sandwich, man.
Yeah.
You're hungry, man. And then you come home, drink the recovery, and do some protein powder and knock out, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I still enjoy doing it, and I can't. My body just doesn't recover like I used to be able to recover. So I kind of have a little lag here and there, but I still enjoy going, and it kind of sets the day for me. So
yeah. I've been, I've lost a little bit of weight just doing the whole one wheeling thing. So I've been doing one wheeling for 2.5 weeks now. Yeah. Right? Almost 3 weeks. And I think I've lost about 11 to 13 pounds.
Holy mackerel.
Just being out and active and riding that sucker. And
wow, that's good, man.
Not being a couch potato, per se. So
that's good stuff.
Legs
are
feeling
awesome.
Good, man. I mean, I definitely, I've hit a turning point with my legs and my feet. And, that's a lot of core you're doing too, man. 106 miles as of today, man.
Wow, that's pretty good, man. Yeah. You're invested in it, no doubt.
It's fun, man. It's relaxing, fun, and put together little videos. I take my little 360 camera with me.
Yeah, I did see a couple of those videos you posted. They're really cool. I like the audio in the background too. It gives it a little kick, Yeah. So, Bella Vista. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
It's just the opportunity for me to enjoy something and be a little creative at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Bella Vista Farmers Market, again, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just a reminder, I was going by there Sunday. It was pretty busy. So,
yep. And I know a small family-owned farm. They're out of Anderson, Missouri. Price Family Farms. Really good guy. They're the first and third weekends of the month. They've got duck eggs and some produce and some chicken eggs. I think he said they actually sold out on chicken eggs the last time they were up there. But they'll have more for the next one that they go to. And then like they can't sell butter there, but I've had their butter before. You can actually get the butter from the farm. It's not maybe a 20-30 minute drive, man, but it's like really good butter for cooking with and stuff, man. So definitely go out and support your local artists and your local farmers, and keep it local, man.
Yeah, we've talked about that on numerous occasions. We need to support local companies in order for them to survive. You're battling these behemoth Walmarts and everything else out there. These people need your help. And
some of this produce is just crap anymore. Like the wife picked up an onion and we cut it as an onion. It was like nasty as all get out on the inside. Look good on the outside though, right?
Yeah.
They got their 65 to 80 cents for their onion. The purple onion, you know, I mean, like, but the
The bad
produce is
onion,
just-
man.
Yeah, produce is just, you know, I mean, like, I don't know, man. The quality of stuff, and we got some. I mean, just quality of everything's down. You know, I mean, just,
Yeah.
we're hitting that apex of just no accountability, no work ethic, no nothing.
No, you're right, man.
It'll be fine till people die from listeria, you know.
Well,
That
yeah,
ice cream
yeah,
company
you know,
out of Florida,
bad
man. You know?
Outbreak, man. Yeah, you just never know. You know.
so you don't.
Hey, Arkansas has the tax-free holiday coming up. Not until August 6th to August 7th. So, anybody for school supplies, if they're thinking about buying a computer or any equipment that you know that you use a computer, mouse, keyboard, wherever it may be. It's a good time to do it. Save on your taxes.
Even if
save
you're not in
tax money,
school.
sales tax money. You know.
Yeah, even
Well,
if you're not in school, buy that computer. No
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah. Take advantage of that. So you have to go on the site. There's certain things they'll cover. Most of it's you know, if it's school related or what have you, they will cover it. So,
Yeah.
but I would still check that
I
out.
wonder if
and,
drones are covered.
I don't think so, man. But
What if you're in a
People just-
photography school?
yeah, well,
Right?
I don't see it on that list. I looked up that list, but we can always request to have it added on to
Well,
it.
I
you
think
know?
Arkansas should have a tax-free quarter. Like a quarter of the year that should be tax-free, especially when they raked in, what was it, 1.6 billion?
Oh boy, yeah, we'll get into that too, Chris. There's a treasure trove going on here, man. Oh man, I mean, we go on forever. So, hey, you had mentioned, you know, right? We were talking about the Met Field and the costs involved and the closing up of you know, Reardon for the work. But now here we come with the POA increases for improvement, you know, for improved lots. So
Yeah.
it just one hit after another, man. You know, got an email and they're out. They want people to campaign out and start calling and supporting this initiative out there. So
And you have
I
to
don't
run
know.
across an email, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. I'm not going to get even the specifics who sent it. I'm just troubled by the fact that I want it to do the dirty work or something like that. And I'm not on board with this. I truly believe that it should be distributed on unimproved lots too. You know, I mean, it should be across the board. And you know, at this point,
Well, that's the divisive thing that they did last time was, you know, they went out for that assessment increase. It failed. So they came
Right.
back and they pitted the unimproved lot owners against the improved lot owners.
right? Yeah.
And that just basically created a huge rift in the community. But if anything, I would say that showed a lot of people in the community what the dang POA really thinks of the membership.
Yep.
And actually the membership that lives here, lives in the community, right? And so right out the gate, they're doing it again. They're not going for the unimproved. I would say they need to bring up the unimproved lots.
Yeah. Well, I think
They need to
the
bring
reason
them
why-
up. They need to level it. There needs to be a leveling effort, right? To if you do an assessment increase and you come back 3 years later, it can't be for that group that was recently done.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's going to have a chance to vote, improved and unimproved lots. It's
Right.
going to be August 10th to October 4th. What do you think the unimproved lots are going to vote for?
they're gonna
hello.
they're gonna vote for the improved lots to get it.
Right. I think at this stage of the game, this is how I feel. We're in, people that have a property here, and they could have unimproved lots, but they live here are invested in the community. That's how I feel about that. I just feel like we're getting cheated. You know, I mean, and a lot of people do. And I'm not holding it against people that are doing it for investment. It's not a deal breaker for them for $3 here, but I just feel that we're living here, we're providing for the community, we're invested in the community we live in, and it really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way, you know.
Yeah, they
So-
call it 3 for 3 is what they're calling it. The 2020 plan, a story of success. Now we need your vote. Was this the 2020 plan? This is what they did last time, right?
Yeah, I think that's 2000 what for the 23, right?
It was
is
a
what
huge
is.
success, and a result, we're in this position this time to vote yes to approve a smaller increase for continued benefits.
Right.
So the last time they didn't have an increase for like, what is it, 18 or 20 years was the last time that an assessment increase passed. It's only been 3 years.
Right.
You've closed down some amenities.
Right. Yeah. We did consolidate.
Yep.
There has been some consolidation going on.
So what I would say is y'all got greedy in 3 years, man.
Well, and there's more talks to consolidate Burksdale, right? So, you know, there's a point where we need to listen. I just want everybody to be in the same playing field. That's all I'm asking for, man. I mean, just to throw the burden on
no
improved lot
change
owners.
in amenity usage fees for 3 more years for just $3 more per month, right? No change in amenity. Like look, man, I pay for my membership activity card. I pay in your assessment increase.
Right.
Now you're saying that you may have to raise prices for amenity usage, bro. Come on, man. Greed, man. Greed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, where does it stop? You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope, Chris. You continue to push these increases and they're going to continue to come. And there's another reason why that's happening. We can get into that at some other show. We know, you know. So it's just kind of ironic that
well, and they're
shows up, but-
subsidizing restaurants and stuff. I mean, that's still a valid argument. They're doing these massive improvement projects.
Yeah,
They're
and
back a
I'm
little
not
bit.
sure. I'm not sure where I stand with the subsidizing the restaurants. I kind of feel that we should, as a
Golf
community,
is
of POA,
subsidized too, man. Golf
Yeah,
is heavily
well,
subsidized.
I haven't seen the numbers come out recently and where they are as far as a P&L. If it's being able to make enough money where it's not being subsidized, so I'm not sure about that. But the restaurants, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they're at, if they're breaking even or
That's
what
the
have
type
you.
of metrics that I'd like to see before you come out and say, "Hey, we want more money." I want to look at like, where are we bleeding money?
Right.
Now I get that they're not for profit, right? I get that, but if we're bleeding money out somewhere, then we need to look at usage and where we can. I mean, are these rates reasonable, especially for golf, right? Because a lot of golf is open to the public, right? Camping is open to the public,
Right. Yeah.
Blowing Springs is open to the public, right? Tanyard Creek, open to the public, right? These are public, like, so the membership is subsidizing public use of these, not to mention all the bike trails and everything else, right? You know, so we're opening our community up, our private exclusive community, to the public more and more. So that means heavy utilization, meaning more maintenance needs to happen.
For sure. Yeah.
And then restaurant usage, right? You don't have to have an activity card to use restaurants. So I'd like to know, where are we bleeding out money?
Well, we shouldn't be. I mean, you're doing a lot of private events too. On top of that, I don't know. I mean, that should more than make up for it. I'd be interested to see how many private events each of these restaurants are doing, and event centers. And I saw one with the Gear Garden too. It was like an event, closed event on, was it July 16th or something like that? So they're taking in money. I don't know what those fees are. I've never seen them. What does it cost to shut something down, to have a group of people in there? I don't know.
Well, on top of it, like, can you shut down a POA membership owned? Like, I mean, I'm a POA member. You say Blowing Springs is shut down for a private event. You can't come in and get a beer. I'd be like, well, who's renting it? Are they a property owner? Are they covering the costs so that, because I'm losing, I'm at a loss now, right?
Yeah. Hey, that'd be a great question for Tom Judson, though.
Right.
We could ask Tom; he would know. But yeah, it would make sense. You'd hope it'd be a POA member.
I mean, can I get the lake? Can I get the lake? Can I just like, hey, I'm a POA.
Want to rent out the lake?
Like, the lake is closed today for Chris's private event. What's he doing out there? You don't need to know, man.
Chris just wants the whole.
I just wanted it for the weekend. Like, my lake. Get off my lake. It's reserved for me today. It's closed. Did you not get the memo?
I think we can make that happen, Chris.
Like,
which lake do you want? I'll put a call in for you. Oh man.
Somebody show up to the boat ramp.
How dare you?
It's my lake today, lady.
Oh man. Hey, July Artist of the Month reception is coming up July 21st, Thursday at 5 p.m. We talked about this. It's Howard Friedland. He's a painter. So
Howie.
get out and check out that award ceremony. Hopefully you can get there in time. Again, it's at 5:00. Most people aren't getting out until 5:30.
Wow.
Get home at 6. So it's probably going to be over by then. It's
Gotta get food
unfortunate.
on the table
but-
for the kids, get them bathed, get them, by the time, 5:00. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So before we get into all these topics of discussion, I think we'll take a break and get back at it.
All right.
What do you think?
I think so.
All
So
right.
this will be a break by our non-sponsors. Nasty's Float Shop provided me with 105 fun hours of riding around on a one-wheel, or miles.
with no injuries.
With yeah. I've only fallen
a couple
twice.
scrapes.
Fallen twice. No, 3 times now.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Twice. I've only fallen
Yeah.
twice.
Right.
Last one was a good one. Blessed my
Yeah.
foot really good. But no, it was a good fall. It was in grass.
Good
too.
deal.
I didn't get hurt. We'll be right back,
Awesome.
y'all. Thanks for sticking with us.
I don't know what you've been told. This here is not your home. You want some trouble? You want some? Come on in and I'll take hold. These hands will break your bones. You want some trouble? You. When I see you, I see blood in the water. Ooh, run deep, it runs deep. Blood in the water. Ooh, I see blood in the water. Ooh, try me, you see blood in the water. I let you know I break down slow. I decompose the styrofoam. Ooh, want some trouble? Ooh, come get some. If you're here to shake my home, I knock you down like dominoes. You want some trouble? Ooh, when I see you, I see blood in the water. Ooh, run deep, it runs deep. Blood in the water. Ooh, I see blood in the water. Ooh, try me, you see blood in the water. I see blood in the water. Ooh, run deep, it runs deep. Blood in the water. Ooh, I see blood in the water. Ooh, try me, you see blood in the water.
We are back from that short break. So,
It never gets old watching that video,
We kind of
Chris.
changed the format up a little bit on this. We went into some real talk to begin with, and then kind of switch it up. I'm fine with that, but
Yeah.
in lieu of opening the phone lines up later, right? I think we'll open them up now and just start working our way through the agenda. Well, actually,
Yeah.
I think you had something special for me.
Oh yeah,
sent
that's
me
a
over this
special thing.
link. and
Before we get into the topics of discussion here, I have your friend Mayor Pete. Man, he was
Pete.
I saw he got an award, so I thought I'd let you know, man, for
June
outstanding.
21st, he was given an award, man. Break this
Yeah.
down. Bella Vista Mayor honored with an award. At
Yeah.
its 88th annual convention, held June 15th and through 17th. Ooh, wow, 2-day convention. The Arkansas Municipal League honored Mayor Peter Christie of Bella Vista, Arkansas, with the Adrian L. White Municipal Leadership Award.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
I'm telling you, bro, every time I go to that city council meeting, I ain't smelling no leadership, bro. I'm smelling something else. Reeks of maple leaves and dog doo-doo, but whatever, man.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
It's
I
like
can't
the
say
bad news
dog
bears,
doo-doo.
man.
I would say Canadian goose poo.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Um,
I just thought you'd get a kick out of that, man. 'cause,
So, according to the press release, the award is presented to municipal officials who have served with distinction and dedication to their cities and the leagues, boards, councils, and committees for 6 years. Christie, the second ever mayor of Bella Vista, is currently serving his second term after winning the seat in the 2015 general election.
I don't even know where to go with that. I guess he ain't been watching our podcast.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, man? Enough.
Whatever makes you feel good about yourself.
Yep. Yeah. More propaganda.
We know who you are.
Yeah. We know.
exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Said it many times. I said what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Moving
No,
on.
you should- All right, buddy. Well, let's get rolling into it, man.
All right.
So, we go back and forth all the time with this budget. So the Arkansas state budget runs from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. So it just ended.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, we have a surplus of $1.6 billion of taxpayer money.
Say that again. How much?
$1.6 billion with a B billion of taxpayers' money.
Yeah, 1.6 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Some
I don't
numbers
know
like
what
that,
to-
man. Woo.
I think we're
Oofy.
being taxed a little bit too much, man.
I think so,
at this
too.
point. I don't even know what to say with this, but hey, I did look at some of the information on here, and I guess there's the Arkansas Revenue Stabilization Act, which was passed in 1944 to prohibit deficit spending, but there's no act for a surplus. There should be some kind of cap somewhere, where you have to take that money back to the
Yeah.
taxpayers.
I would say
You
that
know?
this is seeing the numbers like these, especially with inflation impacting every American right now.
Right. Yeah, it's troubling.
I think the numbers, if you were to actually do the numbers, and obviously, we'll be nice enough to let the state keep some of it, right? But I would say the state could probably give people back $1,500 to $2,000, and still be pretty good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with. Again, that's ridiculous. Hole in your
Because they're
coffers,
gonna see
1.6
this-
billion.
Yeah, they're going to see this 1.6 billion, and they're going to be like, "Well, we got more projects we need to get
Right.
funded."
It's a spend.
So
spend,
it's going to
spend.
be
You see it, you think it's
spend
Right.
versus
right.
maybe
Right.
easing some of the tax, the taxation, over taxation without representation.
Right. Right.
You see something like that, $1.6 billion surplus.
Yeah.
Right?
It's insane. It's insane.
That's
Well, we have people we know in the state legislature, hopefully listening tonight, understand
Yeah.
what we're saying and get some kind of
common
law
sense.
written or supported where there's a cap somewhere on this, because this is ridiculous. Some of that money should
Well,
go back to,
And then on
to the
top of it,
taxpayers.
Mark, they're getting grants from the federal government, which is taxpayer money as well, right? To
Right,
do,
right.
add 2 terminals to X&A and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
Road
like
work. Yeah.
it's tax here, tax everywhere, man.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree with you. So hopefully we'll get the word out on that, and we'll get some kind of resolution, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
The
I
problem
would
with
say
it
they
is-
have money to continue working on the roads, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We gotta quit working on
Okay.
roads because of the inflation, man. You guys got $1.6 billion of our money surplus.
Yeah.
Don't think
Right.
you have to worry about
Right.
that extra $100 a yard for asphalt, man, or chip and seal, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. So again, man, the COVID shots. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Pete, they're dumping like tens of millions.
Mhm.
I mean, not too long ago, it was like 300 million COVID shots, doing them to be the. I guess they were compromised with temperature. They're out of date. I don't know, but they're all paid for and being dumped all over the place, man.
Oh, I gotta have
I mean,
an
this
account
is-
for the Wall Street Journal. What? Why would I pay for your trash?
Nah,
It
screw
said
it. But
recently
listen,
discarded about 30 million. Moderna recently
Yeah.
discarded about 30 million doses of COVID-19 shot after failing to find takers.
Yeah. Well,
More
and that
taxpayer money,
company,
though, man.
and that company had dumped what they had. They didn't follow the protocols. They dumped 300 million, 300 million shots.
Yeah.
And they got paid for it. We paid for it. The taxpayers paid for it. So we continue to dump this. And they're doing the same thing in Canada. They're dumping millions upon millions of doses.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just such fraudulent. It's
I,
waste.
like, if you're dumping that many doses, I really want to know what. Like, I mean, like, do we have like factual data on how many Americans have received more than 2 COVID shots?
I don't think so.
Do we
I don't
have,
think there's
I mean,
any.
like, what is, I mean,
I
they
don't
were
believe
throwing
so,
out
man.
bull crap numbers and stuff, man. And I mean, but when you see them
we don't
throwing
know.
away this amount, right? I mean, was this just like a money grab, man? I mean, it sounds fishy to me.
Well, if you say 300 million with that other company that dumped him because they're compromised, I mean, you only got 320 million people in the country. So just put that in perspective. That could have been one shot for everybody.
Right.
And I don't even know what else has been dumped, but these have already paid for. The federal government's paid these drug companies to produce this product. So they don't care, Chris. If they throw it in the trash or send it out to someone or inoculate them, they don't care. They're getting paid,
Right.
you know?
It's fraud,
it's
waste, and
just-
abuse, man.
Yeah. I mean, and there's
yeah.
there's no accountability. You don't know how many you're producing. You don't know how many people are actually taking these shots. They're
Well,
being
even with the
mismanaged.
mandates, even with the tyrannical mandates that they were doing, right? They're still dumping this much.
Yeah.
Something wrong here. The math, it doesn't add up, man.
Yeah.
You know, first off, the amount of people that are dead from COVID doesn't matter. You know, this was gonna wipe out the world, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and you're throwing
here's
away
my-
these numbers of doses, and we know they've donated doses and to other countries and stuff on top of it.
Right.
Those countries
right.
aren't even taking the crap, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, what is like some what? Do you think that we were possibly lied to? Do you think that we were possibly lied to? I don't know. What's a fella
It's
gonna do,
insane,
man?
I'll tell you what.
like,
Since,
sorry, I don't see bodies piled up everywhere.
yeah.
I don't.
I tell you what. I told you to sell off Twitter, but I tell you to buy Pfizer and buy these drug companies because the hell they're making money hand over fist right now.
Or
So
how many politicians have stock in that too? Right?
oh, I'm sure they're
Fancy Nancy.
yeah, I'm sure they're deep into it, man. There's no doubt about that. It's not even the fact you're making; it's the fact that we're paying for it and you're throwing it all away. You have
15 million doses in Canada
Yeah, I mean, it's just
have expired.
Yeah,
13.6 million doses of AstraZeneca that the government donated to other countries,
Right.
sat in warehouses until they
Right.
expired.
yeah. And
and we wonder why we haven't.
And
See, this was one of the bonehead things that this is one of the bonehead things that I kind of go back to the Trump administration with, though, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, you always beating up Biden," but the data was so manufactured and false that they were silencing actual doctors that came up with the technology for the vaccine when he started blowing the whistle saying this is a dumb idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
It's
numbers
just wasted.
didn't like it. Just the whole shebang was but the government gonna come and save us, right?
Yeah.
Newsflash, people. The government don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about me. They
Yeah.
don't give a damn about your civil rights. That's the honest truth. Because you look at what's going on in D.C., you look at what's going on across this country with governors. You can see the tyrants. If you can't see them, I'm sorry, you got blinders on.
Right.
If you cannot like put on your adult pants for like 5 minutes and say, how many times has this person boned another American over?
Right. Yeah. It's just over and over. Well, here's the even more troubling thing. We got that other variant coming in the fall. What are you going to do? Jack up another 500 million doses?
Yeah.
I mean, when's this going to stop, man? I mean, people are suffering right now with inflation and everything else going on. It's just, it's unacceptable. It's just government running awry from accountability.
this
There's
is
no
what it boils down-
accountability.
And then they're pooping on the Constitution on top of it, man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the separation of powers, the separate branches of government, the whole 9 yards, man. You know, the Supreme Court overturned something and gave the rights back to the states. The Supreme Court ruled that it's constitutionally allowed for anybody to carry a weapon in the United States. What's New York do? They turn around and double down and say, we want, when you apply for a permit to carry, we want access to your social media on top of it. Well, you can want in one hand, dumbass, and shit in the other one and see which one fills up faster. How about that? Huh? So what's
Yeah, I
the
saw
social
that.
media? Welcome on to China's social credit score, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
our government's they're actively saying, Mark, that not only are we going to infringe on your Second Amendment rights, we're going to infringe on your Fourth Amendment rights and look at your First Amendment rights and see what we agree with or don't agree with.
Right.
Are you freaking like they
It's
were
out of control.
actively wiping their ass with the Constitution, man? And like
Right.
they swore
Yeah,
to
they
take
don't-
uphold an oath to it, right? Every
Yeah.
public official does that, right? But yet they want to sit here and act like they have a moral compass that's, more true north than, constitutional loving Americans. But yet they'll scream, but for our democracy, when they're crapping
Yeah.
all over everybody's democracy.
Yeah, I think people are getting wise to it, man. No matter where you live now, people are done with this. They know they've been lied to by the government. They know they've been tricked. People are having all kinds of issues. We talked about this.
Update my
family
Facebook
and
status, man. I'm in an
Yeah.
abusive relationship with the government. It's complicated.
Can you imagine that? You have to turn over all your social media. I mean, it's just
You could-
ridiculous, man.
Hey,
what are you drinking, man?
why
you know?
don't you guys just like, share, and subscribe to my podcast? Okay, just issue my damn permit, though. Give me a
Talk
break.
to us. We'll give you the straight
Screw
skinny, man.
New
We're not gonna
York,
be-
man. New York also
ridiculous.
is getting their butt smacked for not removing people from the voter rolls, man. They ain't removed people from voter rolls in years.
Right.
In years.
Yeah.
But remember, they had freezer truckloads full of dead people, right? Ain't removed nobody from the voter rolls, though?
No.
Something smells.
Well, there's no accountability, man. There's nothing. It's just like Wild West, man. Then on top of that, everybody else that have been having all kinds of health issues because of it, and everybody looks the other way, like, oh no, it's not that. People
falling
family
out
and
left and
friends-
right, bro.
Yeah. They have family and friends that have all kinds of health issues because of this. Dude, we've been poisoned, essentially, is what it comes down to. I mean, let's just cut to the chase, man. I mean, I got a COVID test kit in my
Oh,
in my mail-
did you order those? Did you order those?
no,
Did it
Chris,
showed
I
up?
didn't- Yeah, it just showed up. And I'm reading the thing. I'm like, what? It was manufactured in China and shipped from
It was manufactured
California.
in Wuhan, China.
And I told my
Right next
wife,
door to
I
the
look at
lab. It's totally safe to stick in your nose, bro.
this- Yeah, I look at this. I'm like, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Oh my
Are you kidding me?
gosh,
You already
yeah.
poisoned me once. You're gonna poison me again? Are you out of your freaking mind? Can you believe this?
I
Can you
can't.
believe
I
they're-
really can't.
Everything that's happened, and we have China manufacturing COVID kits. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Yeah, I would say you can take that that COVID test kit and shove it up your So, I'm just saying, like,
Well, now the people are having all kinds of issues. Did you see this week that the COVID infertility thing came out, man, about people having issues?
Let me see I think we got
I mean,
there it is. Sperm counts plummet in vaccinated men. A big question that many people have been asking since the start of 2021 is whether the COVID shots have a major impact on human fertility. We know from a ton of anecdotal evidence and direct stories, thanks to people like Dr. Naomi Wolf, gathering them. Some people think she's out there. I've watched some of her stuff. I don't see where she is like out there,
Right.
And there's a whole slew of America's frontline doctors that all have these exact concerns, and they were actively being canceled by the medical industry. But here's some data that was leaked from DMED, and that's the data from the U.S. military earlier this year, that the shots are doing something to human fertility. 20,000 service members were sterilized between August of 2021 and January of 2022 when Biden's forced vaccine mandate was put into place. The military's hefty vaccination schedule normally only sterilizes about 2,000 service members in a calendar year. That's prior to the COVID. That's their normal, right? Because, like it or not, man, when you join the military, they're going to give you this like concoction
Shots, yeah.
And you're going to feel like doo-doo, man, for at least an hour and a half after you get it. But like, there's no telling what they've injected, their service members with. And some people have adverse reactions from that. And so they say they normally only sterilize about 2,000 service members, and I would say accidentally, or it's a side effect. But now it says the number shot up 10 times more than 20,000 in 6 months after the vaccine mandate. That included about 12,000 women and about 8,000 men. What happened? We know that the women's ovaries are attacked by the shots and it's affected fertility. Again, this is anecdotal evidence. Do your own research, but I'm saying I checked the NIH, because I get a little skeptical of news stories like this. But I did check the NIH's website about the Pfizer COVID vaccine, and it did say that it had reduced modality for sperm. And so that's concerning, being that they're like basically putting people on a regular schedule. Is this birth control? Is this the way of curbing population? Right?
Who knows, man?
I don't know, but all I'm going to say is, I don't trust it. You guys have lied and lied and lied and lied.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, you're a conspiracy theorist, right? You're a conspiracy theorist. Don't talk like that. It would never happen in America. But you know what?
It's happening.
There's plenty of things that happen in America that you're like, what freaking country are we living in? I don't know. Maybe the fact that you got a crackhead son who's a national security risk, and he's the son of the president, right? I don't know. That potentially compromises our whole government, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, tell you what, I'm
fired up, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I get even more fired up now, man. Hey, Gavin Newsom, your governor of California, Chief Wingnut, out in the left coast here, is running for president 2024. He's urging Floridians.
The guy that was at French Laundry when everybody else was locked down, sheltering in place in their homes, forced to wear a mask to go outside and let their dog shit. The
$10,000 suits and the steak dinners and
Nancy's nephew.
So he's pissed off at Florida. So he's telling Floridians to make your way to California for what? To pay higher taxes? They have no state tax. Why the hell would they go to California for? People are fleeing out of there like freaking roaches.
They're avoiding that place like it's got the freaking bubonic plague, man. People are like, get the heck out, man. What you want to die,
is this guy just not self-aware that he's an idiot?
Politicians are not self-aware at all, man.
Unbelievable, man. This guy thinks he's going to have
in Texas, man, showing up after Uvalde, trying to make it a political, using it for political gain, right? They don't have any self-awareness. They have no shame. They have no conscience.
Year after year, California just runs a deficit beyond I mean, it's the most dysfunctional state in the country, man.
Yeah. Not to mention everything else that's going on in California.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. The guy, What kind of joke is that? I mean, I think it's comical that he would actually think he'd have a
CNN.com. Right here, buddy.
yeah.
It's just like,
Do you really, truly? Well, he could just get a quick 80 million votes, though. You never know. Wait,
I urge
mean-
all of you living in Florida to join the fight or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, as long as it's stuff that we let you choose and not whether or not you're going to get a shot that'll sterilize you or give you blood clots or kill you, right?
Yeah, they're crazy, man.
Myocarditis, right?
Yeah.
Right. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom from hate, even though they hate. I mean, like, here's the thing, man. I still see, like, people, like somebody will leave a comment, like, how about them gas prices? Thanks, Joe. What about Trump? Right? Like, Trump's not at the wheel anymore, man. Why is he still living rent-free in these people's heads, man? You
Yeah,
know,
people
like,
get triggered about everything.
but,
man.
like,
It's just
freedom from hate.
Yeah.
I have never once seen the right hate. I mean, these people are full of piss and venom, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I have since 2016, man. I have like these people are so fueled with hate and rage and anger. Why?
yeah.
What is up with that, man?
Yeah. Well, it comes back to, I don't know. I mean, listen, we grew up at a different time, but the ideology, it's so far gone. You can't talk common sense to people
tribal,
anymore,
man.
man.
It's tribalism at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I mean, at
I
one
think we
time,
circle back to that all the time, but I mean, it really
people
is.
respect another person's stance and their position, whatever side of the,
All I gotta say is,
political,
I don't know. I'm
side,
not
you
moving
know.
to California, man.
You want to triple you want to, what it'd be 5 times the tax would be 5 times as much. You
I
wouldn't be
might,
able to live.
I might give old Gavin a call, man, and be like, so tell me more about this Hotel California.
Yeah.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, one smell of colitas rising up through the air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say, man.
Oh, that killed it.
I just saw that come out, and I was just like, this guy is he's just not even aware of what's going on. I mean, he thinks he's God's gift or something, man. I have no idea what he's thinking of, man. I really don't,
Oh, you know what we didn't do, bro? We didn't open up the phone lines, did we? Did we? Oh, we're still on news. That's why. All right. No, keep going. Sorry, man. Sorry. Squirrel.
So we were talking about that, New York again, back to the overreach, man, and
Yeah.
social media. First, you tell people they're, Supreme Court took the case on and overturns it, and those individuals that wanted rights to conceal carry end up winning, and guess what, man? This happened. Hey, we're gonna do this, but we want all your information. So what are you gonna say if they don't like something you put on social media?
People seeking to carry concealed handguns will be required to hand over your social media accounts for review of their character and conduct.
How does that happen?
How about this? Can we get a review of your character and conduct before you're even eligible to run
Right.
for office?
How does that happen? How does that happen? Do I pay for my concealed carry? Then I have to give my password to all my social media accounts. Then they look at it. Then how does this go down? I mean, this is so idiotic.
I'd be like,
It's
look,
unbelievable.
show me one account you see that's verified as mine.
Yeah.
Right? I don't pay for account verification, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's an infringement on your freedom of speech, but 2, your Second Amendment rights shall not be infringed is pretty freaking clear. I think the Supreme Court made that freaking clear. This will be overturned. They must like getting sued, man. I mean, I really, I'm like, what the hell?
well, But here's the thing. This is what I talked about before. They don't care because it's taxpayers' money, Chris. It's like all the stuff that happens in the schools, the lawsuits. Guess what? The taxpayers are going to pay for it. Again, you have to start prosecuting the people that create these problems.
there has to be punitive damages for
You're damn right.
a legislator or a body of legislators passing things that are constitutional infringements.
Yeah.
There needs to be punitive personal damages.
Yeah.
And that would curb half of this crap.
Yeah, you're right. Because there's no accountability. If you were going to get hit in the wallet, you'd be damn, you wouldn't be pushing out this
Right.
propaganda, man. If you were going to be accountable at the end of the day, but it's, oh, well, we
But
lost.
that's why the
But I don't
legislators
care.
pass laws saying, well, you can't sue your government.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's trouble. And so, hey,
Man.
the next topic, and this is a big one, and you sent me this, the Georgia Guidestones. Can you put that up? I mean, I'm reading this, and I wasn't too familiar with this, how this was designed back in the 80s and stuff.
So
But
hold on,
man-
just a disclaimer, right? We ain't wearing tinfoil hats. But we are talking about the Georgia Guidestones. The New World Order's agenda for depopulating the planet.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, man. I read the article and the 10 commandments on it. I mean, look at this.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, so
this is just crazy.
So for anybody who's watching, though, okay, so apparently somebody decided they were going to go out and blow up a monument. They blew it up, man. Boom. But here's the weird thing: is okay, so this is a crime scene, but then they came out and demolished the whole thing during an active investigation on top of it, right? That happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
you just knocked the whole thing down. It's unsafe. Yeah, well, I think the whole premise of what it was trying to accomplish was unsafe to begin with. But the government allowed people to put up a monument, an undisclosed person,
Yeah.
or a body of people. But yeah, let's get down into some of this, right? It is, Georgia
I'm looking
Guidestones.
at-
Some people call
I'm
it the
looking at all-
Stonehenge of America,
Yeah.
even though it was
yeah.
built in the 80s.
So that area, I guess it's in Georgia, the South Carolina border, right? It's a huge granite area. It was designed with granite, and I don't know all the details behind it, but I was just reading the I guess, for lack of a better word, the 10 commandments of this.
Yes. So maintain
monument?
humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
Okay, let's just stop right there, man.
Wait a minute.
We got
Wait, it's a conspiracy theory to say that there's a body of people out there that want to depopulate the planet. But yet you
Yeah.
have basically a guidebook, the 10 commandments on elites depopulating the planet.
Yeah. What is this? Bill Gates' twin brother or what?
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity.
But listen,
Sounds a little
let's
familiar.
forward. This was produced in 1980. So 2020, it says maintain humanity under, and when I say humanity, I'm taking planet Earth. Okay. We got probably 8 billion people. Okay. So you want to exterminate 7.5 billion people? That's what you're saying to me. That's what that says.
Guide
Maintain
reproduction wisely. But people are being sterilized by your shots. I don't know. What's the fella gonna do? Unite humanity with a new living language. That language is what? Wokeism?
Yeah.
Pronouns? I don't know.
What was this? Just updated 40 years later or what? I mean, this
Rule
is just-
passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? Tempered reason. What does that mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we'll
Protect
find out.
people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Well, we have democracy here. We have courts.
Let
I mean, we
all
just,
nations rule internally, resolving. You see that? This is the verbiage of this. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. No. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. I can get down with that one right now, man. I
I'm
really
with it,
can.
man. I'm with
Because
it.
that's like probably 75% of our leaders, Like,
Can you imagine? I feel bad for some of these judges. I mean, can you imagine those idiots like in New York? Can you imagine being a judge and have that case and have to deal with that? That social media.
after the Supreme Court has already
you-
ruled that you have a constitutional
Yeah.
right. Like, I mean, this is just more constitutional infringement, man.
I'd haul those lawyers into my chambers and go, if I ever see your face in here again, I'm gonna freaking
No.
put you in contempt.
I
I mean-
see, here's the thing is, where's the Department of Justice on? Oh, yeah, that's right. They're too busy mining data on minors and parents that speak out at.
Wait, can you believe this? I mean, a judge wouldn't even let this go forward. He'd be laughing. This has already been tried. Hello, McFly.
Exactly. I mean, no standing, none. You have no. You
laughing.
can't do this.
This would be the easiest day of work for him. He'd be just like bouncing that thing down to the
Wait for the
lower
late
courts.
night infomercials. Did you turn
It'd
over
be
your
like
social media account to the government for a concealed weapons permit? You might be entitled to compensation.
It's like a tennis match. The ball going back and forth. He takes it onto his court, puts it to lower court. They bounce it back up. He bounces it back.
But they act like they act like they don't already have it. I mean, like you remember, right? You remember Patriot Act, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't already have it. I mean, like there's DHS fusion
all
centers all
information.
over the place, right? It's not like they don't have that information already, right, Kevin? Up there in Kansas City, right? I mean, I know.
Well, you remember
my number one
who was the
subscriber,
CIA
right?
acting director? The CIA acting director actually said,
what's his name?
on
He lied
camera.
under oath. Yeah,
he lied under oath, and not. Then he says not knowingly.
Right. But it's like
Yeah.
it's like you guys already know there's a file on every American out there.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
psychological profile on every
I wouldn't let
American
these.
out there.
I wouldn't let them walk my pet monkey, man. Let me tell you.
It's,
Seriously. I mean, it's
bitch,
ridiculous.
get off my lawn. Sorry, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already in my life more than what I want you to be.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, at what point do we just, I remember that movement of people that were like, I'm a sovereign citizen.
Right.
Like, I don't respect your authority and stuff. I'm like, you crazy crack. I mean, you crazy crack. Like, I mean, but like, you see how it's become. And it's like,
Right.
at what point do people say, like, I mean, are we hitting that point where more? I mean, I don't want to be labeled as an extremist by any means, man. But I'm like, I want to break this down, like mentally. At what point are people going to say that stuff? And I'm not doing it. No, I'm not playing
It's
the
coming.
game anymore,
It's coming,
man.
This is like it's a pressure cooker, man. It's going to take a little time.
If they could just
the steam's coming to the top.
if they could cool their chi-chis down just a little bit, man, and say.
Right.
Because everything is so freaking knee-jerk with legislation now. Every politician's like, I gotta ram this through right now while it's like hot, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you could cool your chi-chis and say, let's take a break.
Yep.
Let's calm down.
And I know you
give everybody a moment to cool down and grieve and all that.
Right. And I know you've mentioned this before, and I kind of reflect back to it because it was a great point. Is you can affect change locally in your own hometowns, and you're absolutely correct.
That's the
but
best
I
way to do it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it starts here, and it builds. You get the right people in the right places. You vote in people that align with your values and represent, or willing to
And you hold them
represent you.
accountable. You have no fear to hold them accountable either. See, that's the other thing is people are scared.
Yeah.
They're scared of the person that's supposed to be
Yeah.
there.
The boogeyman. The boogeyman.
There is no, that's the thing, right? It's like, having the moral courage to get in somebody's ass who's supposed to be doing their job with your taxpayer, who's supposed to be representing you,
Yep.
and they're not. They're shitting the bed. Pardon my French. This one right here, for anybody who gets like, well, Chris, he says some poo-poo words and stuff, right? You damn right I do. Freedom of speech. Thank you very much.
Yeah. They need to be balanced.
But if you're
not
shitting
delivering,
the bed as a public servant, and you get mad at me showing up at a city council meeting, or you showing up at a city council meeting, or people showing up at a city council meeting saying, y'all are shitting the bed, get your shit together.
do your
right?
job, man.
But you get mad at that person. Quit that crap. Do some internal reflection. Say, yeah, I probably screwed that up, right? But they don't do that. They're like, nope, I'm perfect. I'm Canada's gift to Bella Vista. Look at me. I'm getting leadership awards. Apparently somebody doesn't, I don't think that word means what you think it means, right? Leadership doesn't mean like, I'm not going to email anybody back. I'm going to hide. I'm going to duck. I'm not going to provide valid information.
Well, that's
I'm
what we
gonna,
got.
You know, I mean, like,
I'm
give
sick.
me a freaking break, man.
I'm under the weather. I don't want to take the pressure. And those are the people that you need to weed out at the end of the day that you don't vote for.
And so getting involved locally, having the moral courage to show up to city council meetings, having the courage to engage with the politicians, people that are running, people that are actively in the positions, having the moral courage to email people and say, why didn't you do this? Right?
Yeah.
It all starts local. If everybody in America took that segment and said, I'm going to start going to city council meetings. I'm going to start getting to know my councilmen.
I think we are. I think there's been a movement over the last few months. I think we're starting to gain a little bit more. I mean, I'm hoping that we can keep on going. More people show up and voice their opinions. Hey, with the politicians, listen, when they go into public office, a majority of them have good intentions. Yeah. It's just the problem. They get in the system bogs them down and, tit for tat. And you know how that works. And, I give up this to give that. And I understand how that works, man. But once you've compromised your integrity, I mean, you're done. Nobody's going to believe in what you're doing. You're there to support your
The old saying
people.
was, shame on me once, shame on you, shame on me twice, shame on me.
Right.
That still stands in my book, man.
Right. And I don't think people will, hey, listen, people make mistakes. Again, we talked about this before too. Not taking ownership for screwing up.
And that's the thing. If you can take ownership, I mean, like, I get everybody's human, man. The only perfect human on this planet, man, the people of this world crucified.
Right. Yeah.
So we're all human. We're all fallible. We're all dynamic. Our minds can be changed through education, experience, sitting down and putting your, empathy, right? Sitting down and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be able to humble yourself and say, man, I pooped the bed on that one. Yeah. I didn't do as good as I could have, right?
I'd have more respect for someone that was willing to come out and say, hey, you know what, guys? I tried to do that. And, in hindsight, I shouldn't have. And owned it. You know what? And now I'm going to do this. I'll tell you why I did what I did. And you know what? I respect someone 10 times more than to throw it underneath the rug and hide it like it never happened. I don't have that. That's low character for me. Those are the kind of people that have no business being in public office.
Man, I'll tell you, that's what really, like, people here. This is what I see more and more with society, right? Is people are so apt to call out the negatives, right, without actually looking at what they did first. Well, like, did I handle this appropriately? They won't call themselves out, but they'll be quick to judge another person and call out everything that, well, you didn't tell me, or you didn't provide me the information, that I needed, right? You only provided me part of it. And that's why I made, but it's excuses. Excuses are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. They all stink. They all stink, man. Quit making excuses for your like. Did you go the extra mile?
Yeah.
Did you go the extra mile?
Yep.
Right.
People, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what's happened, but it seems like to me, people hide their the mistakes instead of just owning them and coming out and saying, look, man, I screwed up on this. Okay. This is what I'm going to do and move on from it. But instead it's like a snowball effect. They continue to do that. Once you're going to lie once, you're going to do it again and again and again and again. But the fact that people
a lie just turns
that,
into another lie, which another lie, which another lie.
And I'm not going to be a part of that, Chris, quite frankly. And it's not about being negative. What you call someone negative because they're having a conversation about somebody
to do the right thing.
Right. You're asking people to do the right thing at the end of the day, and it's negative. No, I don't care. I know some social media sites and some Facebook sites do that. They want a happy and all this. Hey, man, if you're doing something wrong, I'm going to call you out for it. And you do the same thing to me. If I screw up on something, hey, I don't know if I agree with you, Mark. I think you should do this or that.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate that.
Well, that's
you know?
true friendship, though, man. It's like, I mean, like, I don't think that, like, I mean, me and you have agreed on a lot of things, but we've also had disagreements, and we've had the opportunity to sit down and talk and kind of, like, put our stance there to where, like, you can see where I'm coming from on
Yeah.
my thought process, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't ever actually, like, say, why is he thinking this way? Right? I mean, you think about these young
Because they
these young,
don't want to listen.
younger
Chris. They-
groups. I mean, the 20-year-olds and stuff like that, right? It's like, do you have actual skills to do root cause analysis, right? Or
Yeah.
or actually stepping out of your own ego for a few minutes,
Right.
right? And putting yourself in that person's position, listening with intent, intently listening, right?
Right.
I don't know, Mark. You know, I think that, you know, kind of, you know, the evolution of our podcast too, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're on what, show 19? We're almost to 20.
Right.
We've
right.
evolved, but I think we started off pretty much the same as we've been, right? We just we've gotten a little bit more comfortable. But
Right.
at the end of the day, man, it's like we can pull off interviews. We can talk with people. We can get their stance. We can be impartial. We can take the information that they give us. We can apply it to a logical and rational thought process and say,
Yeah.
I see where that person is coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
the whole thing that's going on in this world today is you didn't agree with me, so I'm
Right,
going to
therefore-
stonewall you.
right.
right.
Unfriend you on Facebook or wherever it is, or block
Right.
you from their Facebook site because
How
it
is
doesn't align
stonewalling
with them.
somebody even productive?
It isn't. It isn't. And those are people that you don't want to align or be groups to be part of at the end of the day because they're not willing to listen to other opinions of other people. They just want to control the narrative.
And I
And
mean, I
that's-
know some of this comes with like maturing, getting older, and actually having like, you know, having to navigate different social spectrums and all that, right? But at the end of the day, man, it's like some of this stuff should be being taught in our public education systems, right? How
Yeah.
to be a functional adult whenever you
Well,
go
critical
out into that
thinking,
adult
critical
world.
thinking skills, and being able to have a conversation with someone and respect their stance is where the problem is. You get angry because they don't align with your values. Therefore, you just cut them at the knees. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Dude,
So-
America is such an awesome place, though, that like, if you grew up in a small redneck town or ghetto town, right, and you didn't like you're like, this is not what I want for my life.
Right.
You can pick up and move 60 miles down the road
Yeah.
in any direction and probably find some other place that's going to be what you think it is. Right?
Yeah.
You know, you have the ability. You're not. Everybody acts like they have roots. Like, I'm not saying everybody got roots somewhere, right? But everybody
Right.
acts like they
Yeah.
have like stones around their feet and they're
Right.
planted there like a tree.
Yeah.
You're not, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of that is, it's kind of sad in some ways. I know both of us have traveled extensively over the years with our jobs. So we've got to
Yeah.
see different parts of the country and, you know, been around different types of people. So, I mean, I feel blessed. There's good people all over the country,
There
man.
is, man.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, but I think now, I mean, I think there's just a ideology in some of these states that just aren't going to change, man. You know,
Yeah, I
mean,
want
they
you
just-
to take that, what you just said, though, Mark, and I want you to say there's good people all over the country. And then I want you to
Yeah.
put on a Make America Great Again hat. And I want you to go around America.
Yeah.
I think we should
Yeah.
crowdfund that. Like, we just
Yeah.
get Mark to wear his Make America Great hat and go to every major metropolis in America, and he's going to tell me there's good people everywhere. You probably would find somebody that would like stop the guy from curb stomping your head, right? You'd
Yeah,
be like, there,
yeah.
I found the one good guy. Right?
Well, might as well start off with Chicago
But
and
that's
make
the
it
thing,
quick.
is people are so emotionally invested in stuff, Mark. Right? Like,
Yeah.
like I've never like I really wish
I
my
know.
dad was still alive, man, because I'm like,
Can you imagine?
Like,
You'd be
was it like
doing-
that? Like, who do we know that was like around in the 80s
Yeah.
or the 70s, like in the
What?
60 hippie movement, right? Like the Vietnam War. I mean, like, because I think that was a turning point for America, right?
Right.
But was it ever this tribal? That's
No,
the thing
it
that I
hasn't
think
been.
worries
It
me the
hasn't.
most is how tribal it's become.
I think this started in mid '90s and just with the evolution of social media and internet and everything else. I mean, yeah, I know internet was around prior to that, but in mass.
Right.
I mean, I can remember growing up in the '70s and '80s, and it was a great time to grow up, man. You know?
Yeah, but we weren't like into politics and stuff back in the 70s, man. and the
No,
80s,
no.
you know? I mean, we were kids, right? Being kids.
Right.
But
right.
it's like from an adult's perspective. Because they say like every generation says, "Oh, well, this is we're headed to Civil War." Right?
This
we're
is
headed
kind
to
of
World War III, right? Civil War, whatever you want. Like it's every generation has that one of them aha moments, right?
right.
But I'm not really like looking at it like, well, is this the end or the end? I'm not the guy running around. The end is near. I don't got my side. But what I'm saying is like
the difference
you can gauge the mindset of people. They're so transparent. Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I know a lot of people ain't getting a concealed carry permit up in New York because of the crap they post on Facebook. If it's a fair and just system, right? But
right.
when the government's looking at your speech and being the arbitrator of issuing a constitutional right, or i.e., like that's why I'm a whole 100% against this nationalized healthcare as well, right?
Right.
Because, well, you voted this way in 1996.
Right.
You're not getting approved for that kidney transplant.
Yeah. How they look at it is, it's like we talked about this with the Supreme Court.
They already started doing it with COVID vax. They were denying healthcare services to people who didn't have the vaccine, man. Life-changing care.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's totally wrong to do something like that. It's like you want to throw something on the wall to see if it sticks, right? It's unconstitutional, but you're going to keep on banging that. And it's just, but that brings me back to my point. If you're going to go run these frivolous, and I call them frivolous lawsuits coming through that know they're going to be turned away, you're just wasting taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Millions upon millions of dollars of taxpayers' money on that. We already know it was unconstitutional. The fact that the Supreme Court has to address that issue with the concealed carry in New York is ridiculous.
Well, they just doubled down, and then like Biden did it as well. We didn't talk about that topic yet. Biden did it as well. So SCOTUS, they gave the states the rights back, and I think Asa Hutchinson, I'm glad he put it out. I'm glad he put this thing out, and he called out Biden finally, instead of sucking his, I don't know, his dentures. But which one are you referring to? So Biden signed an executive order today to protect abortion and contraception following the Supreme Court's ruling, right?
Yep.
So nobody ever took away contraception.
Yeah. Nobody
ever took that away. And actually, Asa Hutchinson did it. He posted it on Facebook today. Let me find this real quick, because I saw it this evening after work, and I'm like, well, at least Asa finally got something right. I'm not a fan of, if you don't know already, I'm not a fan of Asa, but whatevs. So here's what he said. The president's remarks today on states who protect life are misleading. His attack on the Supreme Court and disrespect for the role of states further divides our country. I 100% agree with you. There has been incorrect information about Arkansas's trigger law. Here are the facts. This law does not impact contraception, including IUDs and Plan B. It also does not impact treatment for ectopic pregnancy. The current Arkansas law prohibits abortions with the exception to save the life of the mother. Right. Over the past 7 years, we've worked to provide more resources for expecting mothers, and we are continuing our efforts to care for all life in Arkansas, right? And there was another news article where basically these centers that actually help women, the Department of Health and all that, right? They've seen a huge increase in women and young women and women seeking birth control, right? So if that's not a tell that abortion was being used in lieu of actually like birth control and contraception and IUDs, right? What is?
Yeah.
People about my freedoms, right? Well, the Supreme Court not gonna. But these are the same people that were advocating for me to get a damn shot or you to get a damn shot. Everybody needs a shot, right?
Yeah.
But now they're gonna whine about bodily autonomy, right?
Yeah.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm sorry, Nancy, you can't do it, right? Go on, Alice, walk out the door and scream a little bit more, and then come back in whenever you're ready to put on your big girl panties.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Very true, man. It's just, I don't know what to say. I mean, his handlers are pretty much, he's gone, man. I mean, he's totally gone. He's just.
I'm surprised the guy hasn't. I mean, like, you see how the hard on that they have for Trump, even though he's not in office anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the guy went through what? This is like a third impeachment trial now, right? Basically.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right?
It's just more taxpayer
New
money
York's
wasted.
got a hard on for the Trump organization and all that, right? I mean, they're still actively trying to find something to prosecute Teflon Don with.
The attorney general in the Southern District of New York comes up with something every other week.
But you
to
have the
prosecute
president
for.
of the United States basically, Supreme Court, and not a word.
Yeah.
Not a word. Nobody going to file articles of impeachment?
What troubles me is the fact that they're weaponizing these positions in New York against innocent people. I got a problem with that, man. I really do. I got a big problem.
Well, all these
with
major institutions, the institutions that you saw. I mean, it's even happening in small town Bella Vista, man.
Yeah.
That person was labeled as a troublemaker. We don't respond to those police calls.
Yeah.
Right?
No, very true. Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah, it's facts.
I mean, I'm sorry, man.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Not a high level of confidence there.
No.
I'll be sure
totally
to turn in my
agree.
social media account, so if I file for a permit with you guys, don't worry.
Yeah. So I totally agree. One more thing before we wrap up tonight, and I know we talked about this, and I want to bring it up again. We got the mayoral candidacy around the corner in the fall. I'm still thinking about doing like a roundtable, like a debate. I don't know what your thoughts are there with that. We could reach out to Randy and John.
I
and
would
see
love
if
to do
there's-
that.
I think that'd be a great idea. I mean, I'm not talking now it's July, but maybe late August or September, we get a
September, October.
we get a remote site.
Mid,
we set up.
what the filing date's in September, I think.
Yeah, we get a remote site, Chris, and we just do an hour and a half debate. Questions can come in from the community. Have a small audience
I'm
if they
fine
want
with
to do
doing
that.
I mean, like,
I think that'd be a great idea, and I think
I
a
think
lot
we
of
would
these
do it
candidates-
right too, man.
Yeah, I do too. I was thinking about maybe doing a venue down in Bentonville, maybe have a rent out a couple of them, maybe a conference center or something down there at one of the hotels for like a Friday night, and just do an hour and a half. 2 hour.
We get Embassy Suites out there, man, because they got they got the open bar after. We could do the open bar afterwards with the kids.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. They have a lot of conference rooms there. I forgot about that. That's an excellent point, and it's easy access in Rogers and right off the 71. So maybe let's reach out. I mean, we can reach out to these guys and just
swing
kind
something
of
like
get
that. That might be kind of fun. We can bring the wives out too, man. And we can maybe
Yeah.
go eat at Ruth Chris maybe afterwards. I don't know, right?
Yeah, we'll pull out. And we'll get a certain amount of individuals from Bella Vista and with questions, and we'll ask them upon the candidates. And I don't see why they wouldn't be interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And we could just do a live feed on it.
I think that's not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we gotta see what the candidates think, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down with it, man. I mean, because
Yeah.
we've interviewed 2 of the 3 that have thrown their name in the hat, right? But I mean, obviously everybody's got their name in the hat until filing date.
Yeah.
So, but after the filing date, man, next level, man. We're taking it to another level, man, because I want to know exactly who I'm voting for.
Right.
I think I've got a good idea between talking with John and Randy, and I've got an idea of their platform, right, already. Now I'm sitting back and kind of observing and watching and saying, okay, well, you say.
So I don't even really thinking about a debate style. I'm thinking like about a, maybe 10 or 15 citizens in Bella Vista get questions from the community. We solicit questions and we just randomly pull them and ask the questions on behalf of the candidates. Yeah. I don't really care the back and forth and banter between, each mayoral candidate,
Right.
I
want, like, here's the question. It's kind of like, how they do some of these other ones, right? It's like, here's the question. You're first on this question. You're first on this question.
Right.
But getting their stance on each one of those questions and actively watching the thought process. I find a lot by watching these live debates by watching that thought process. And is the thought process going to be, well, he had a good answer, so I'm going to regurgitate what he said.
Right.
Or is it going to be an authentic response?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know the cream always rises to the top, Chris.
Exactly, right? Well, in a free and fair election.
Yeah.
It does.
But hey, you know what? If we can keep the community engaged, I think it's a great idea. We get a list of questions from people and actually have them if we just do it at the Embassy Suites. I mean, what's one of those rooms? Can get 200-300 people in there, maybe.
Oh yeah.
So we do a lottery, and we pull 300 names or whatever, and they have the option to come out and
I think it's a good idea, man. I think we ought to kind of check into that and figure out our resources to do it. Again, we're just doing this as a public service, right? Trying to create a community of educated, like-minded individuals.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, I know summertime is a hard time to even do podcasts because everybody's out sweating or mowing their lawns at night and stuff like that. And
speaking of lawns, man,
bro, it's been.
I got to tell you, I haven't mown the lawn in 3.5 weeks, man. It's just been dormant.
I got this little shaded patch that I need to weed eat. That's about it.
Do you?
I'm done. 5 minutes.
Yeah,
later,
you got a lot of rock over there, so you're not in bad shape. But it's just been so hot. I haven't watered it. I just left it, and it'll come back. I mean, Bermudans, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty hardy.
Yeah,
it's been freaking hot, man. I mean,
yeah. It has been brutal.
Like Tuesday's supposed to be 100 at real temp, 100 degrees. So I think we're going to see those 116 heat indexes and stuff, bro. You might find me laying down in a river somewhere.
Hopefully not face down, man.
No, but after crap I said tonight, I might be face down in the river. Who knows, man?
Man. Hey, what a great show tonight, Chris. We had a lot of good topics and stuff. And, man, every week I look forward to this Friday. I mean, it's crazy. You start off Monday and stuff, and there's a lot more that meets the eye.
Friday it rolls. Friday it hits, man. The news cycle drops on Friday, and we're like, crap, why did we put the agenda together on Thursday?
and the people have done podcasts before and shows that understand that we don't have a staff. It's just me and you, and we put, curate the stuff, we put it together, we go through it and rehash it back and forth until we find something that we want to do and we think it's valuable for the community. So we enjoy doing it, man. We like providing that information, and I enjoy it every week, man. I really do. And I can't wait till next week. But you're going on vacation, so when
I'm not gonna say when I'm going on vacation, man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say
we might be doing a twofer.
I might be driving down the road, man, doing the next one. You don't know.
All right, man. I'm up for it.
All right, brother. All right. I want to say thanks to everybody who watches this in the future. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Help us beat that algorithm. We're still kicking it live over here because I have faith that when the fall and wintertime hits, our numbers are going to go up.
Oh yeah, we will.
But at the end of the day, we've gotten some, messages to the Facebook page saying we have multiple fans that have encouraged people to do an interview with us and stuff. So I appreciate everybody getting the word out. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, talk to somebody, point them in our direction. If you feel like you got something you want to say, our emails are always on the screen. I don't like to do that like, share, subscribe thing incessantly like some podcasts do. Either you're going to listen or you're not. That's on you. But I think that we provide our perspective. This is not professional or personal life advice. It's just something for you to marinate in your brain and say, man, maybe these guys are onto something. Or maybe these guys are batshit crazy. I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I mean, it's a crazy time. It's a crazy world. But maybe we're all a little bit crazy. I don't know. Yeah, but I do want to tell you each from the bottom of my heart, hope you have a happy, healthy, humble, and safe week ahead. And we'll see you back next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Amen. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. See ya.
Whatever